One thing we didn't hear a lot of was former President Trump.
That's right.
And I want to go to our Garrett Haake right now, who can explain to our viewers who have been watching this debate for the last 2 hours. Garrett, it's been polled that when these Republican candidates attack the former president, even though they're trying to beat him and they're running against him, it actually hurts them.
Yeah, that's right, Tom. There was such a cautious manner in which these candidates tried to separate themselves from the frontrunner who's been dominating this race. You heard them do it in a way where they basically wrapped their criticisms of Donald Trump in praise of his presidency, because they're trying to give a permission structure to his voters to say, yes, I liked him then, or I liked elements of what he did then.
Although Senator Tim Scott has had trouble finding some traction in the Republican primary, including his debate performances, he decided to unveil a mystery woman on stage after Wednesday's debate in hopes of answering a question that many people had. You're trying to run for president, and you're not married, and you're not even dating? Yes, it's one of the most nonsensical, unwritten qualification voters and pundits have for a president. So, of course, ABC News awkwardly asked him more about it.
Before we go, I do want to ask you, you've told so much of your personal story. You've shared your family, you've shared your faith. We see this video that we have up right now that you were seeing on stage at the end of the debate with a woman. We understand now that this is your girlfriend, Mindy. There's been a lot of buzz on the trail about her. Can you give us any details? Because many people are saying, you know, here's a guy, he's 58 years old, he's never been married, it would be the first bachelor president. Just give us a sense of who she is and why you brought her tonight.
Well, she was at my kickoff when I announced my candidacy back in May. So the good news is that we continue to have a healthy relationship. We thankfully both love the Lord and have a healthy respect for one another. And I tell you, we have a lot of fun together. So hopefully, as life continues, we'll continue to see our relationship evolve. But more importantly, I think the American people are more interested in their families than in my relationship.
I don't know. And then just lastly, just for fun, how long have you guys been dating?
Nearly a year.
Okay.
People are saying, here's a guy that's damn near 60 years old, and we haven't seen a woman near him. What, are you gay? They ask these questions as if it would completely derail his political agenda that no one's really talking about anyway. He should probably be used to these kinds of questions and have some maybe more prepared things to say, because this is not the first time.
There's a question America would love for you to answer. If you become president, you'd be like Grover Cleveland and James Buchanan. You would go as a bachelor, as a single man. Is there someone in your life? Is there time for a woman in your life right now?
Well, there's always time for a great relationship with a wonderful woman. I thank God that is happening. But we're gonna leave it there.
It's actually about the 10th time.
Well, obviously, at this point, I'm taken. I have a wonderful girlfriend, and we have a wonderful relationship. The good news is God has blessed me with a smart Christian woman. That's great news. I probably have more time, more energy, and more latitude to do the job. I mean, my girlfriend wants to see me when I come home.
The Scott campaign was ready to give more details after another forgettable showing this week on the debate stage by putting out a statement saying that the woman who greeted Scott on stage after the debate and posed for a picture with him is his girlfriend, Mindy. The mystery woman was later identified as Mindy Noche, a design and renovations manager in Charleston, South Carolina. Since this is the first time that I've attempted to give a damn about Tim Scott's mysterious girlfriend over his mysterious promises, like wanting to fire striking auto workers, I discovered that the deeply religious presidential candidate has had some issues in the past with having a woman with him at public events, like all the way back in 2012 when he notified the House Ethics Committee that he had to pay back a conservative think tank for part of the 3-day getaway because he invited Z Patel, a lingerie store manager, to stay with him instead of his aunt. Reporting said he took her along for a 3-day getaway to the exclusive Cloister Beach Club on the Georgia coast as part of a junket paid for by the American Enterprise Institute. Scott claims Miss Patel is merely a close friend and said it was actually his mother's idea to bring her along. He intended to bring his aunt, he said, but when she couldn't go, he invited Miss Patel. Also, Miss Patel stayed in Scott's $876 suite along with Scott and his mother. And since organizations can only pay the travel and lodging expenses of members of Congress and their family members, not their friends, Scott had to pay AEI for every expense that Z Patel had racked up. So at this point, maybe Senator Scott's decision to slowly bring current girlfriend Mindy out of the woodworks was to reduce ridiculous talk about whether or not he's gay. But he should know by now that that isn't very easy, considering he hopes to lead a party that won't even tolerate those kinds of accusations. And since it's already out there, the non-believers are even more convinced that Mindy is just part of this fake charade.